All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Monday, September 23rd, set today by Vulcan. He does every second week, and generally it's quite a straightforward one, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, one across: a sexually fluid work. I see announced, not necessarily. Well, the prefix, or word, I suppose, at this point, by, comes up a lot in the Guardian crossword. So that would be the sexually fluid. Now, if you see A in a clue, generally it means we'll have A in the answer. So ABI. Work is usually OP for opus, a musical work. And IC announced would suggest ending in IC. Not necessarily. Well, I think ignoring the A, we have biopic. Now, I have to admit, until very recently, I was pronouncing that biopic. I suppose by extension from myopic. But I was listening to the, what's the screenplay podcast with John August, and they said, no, it is biopic. It's a biographical picture, therefore biopic. Although I saw an interview with Robbie Williams, there's a new film out about his life, and on the red carpet he pronounced it biopic. I think it's a very common mispronunciation. Anyway, that's enough about that. But maybe I've educated another few people that it should be biopic. All right, assimilate, where fire may be lit, if not hot. Well, the first word I think for assimilate would be integrate, which is almost like in the grate where you would light a fire, but without the letter H for hot, because on a hot tap you will see an H. Solid support for Rhodes statue. Now, I think maybe we're supposed to think of Cecil Rhodes, but it could be in Greece, the island of Rhodes. Oh, is it a Greek word? Oh, maybe it's one of the what's the adjective for the solids? There are some basic solids in geometry, but a support for a statue, I'm wondering if it could be a plinth. No, I don't see that. Seminars using slang endlessly. No, I don't get that. Let's go back to the across. Nearby, very angry with oneself. Well, just saying very angry and then with oneself, I thought of you can be beside yourself with anger. And if you're nearby, you would be beside. It's a funny phrasing of the clue. It's saying this word that means nearby will mean very angry when you put it with oneself. We've seen those before, but I do think it's a little bit different from a standard cryptic crossword. All right, it's a very nice grid because it gives us all these starting letters if you get the acrosses, and 8 down as well. All right, one calls for the army. I have no idea what that means. Someone who calls to the door, like a beggar or something. No. Ashen but work thus to get some color. 8 letters. I wonder if it could be an anagram of ashen but, and work thus is a very formal way of indicating an anagram. Get some color. Well, it could be a color, but I'm thinking of sunbathe And I'm fairly sure we have the letters of sunbathe in there. All right, Mike redubbed, turning up, bearing another name. I wonder if that could be another name for Michael, and then we have to reverse it. Bearing another name, is that the definition? Alias or something? AKA? No, let's go back to the crosses. A consequence of bad hearing. Well, this is short enough that I think it must be a cryptic definition, i.e., the whole thing just gives a funny way of defining the answer, and there's no wordplay involved. So I think we're supposed to think bad hearing, the sense of hearing, but I think it might be, oh yeah, if you had a bad court hearing, you might get a retrial. Oh, so 3 down might be plinth. But I don't know what the seminars are. Using slang endlessly. No. All right, information on boy getting cheaper drug. Well, a cheaper drug, I think maybe, I wonder, is this a more common term in the US? Do you talk about it in Britain? Instead of getting the brand name drug, getting a generic, where gen is another word for information. I think it's more a slang term. And the boy is Eric. Anyway, how about one's success is in the balance? Balance the scales of justice, maybe? No, I think I need some more letters for that. Oh, I just looked up at 5 down. One calls for the army. Could it be a bugle? The bugle call? It's not a very satisfying clue. It's not one that clicks into place and you say, oh yeah, it could be nothing else. But I think that might be it. We'll find out with 11 across. But I'm going to go on to 12 down. Idle head. Must be a double definition. Of course, there are a lot of meanings of head. Verb or a noun. Idle, again, could be, well, it could be a verb or an adjective. No, I don't see it. Start one's piece, but not wait for the signal. Yeah, so if you don't wait for the signal, you jump the gun. And I think to start, oh yeah, if somebody surprises you and you jump in your seat, or you might be said to start. And then one's piece, oh yeah, slang, could be a gun. I suppose gangsters speak, didn't they always talk about having a piece? All right. Old-fashioned medium, broadcast modest aria. Well, 10 letters, so modest aria, I think we're going to broadcast or anagram those letters to get an old-fashioned medium. Radio, I think. What's left over? Oh, the S and the T, the E and the M. Oh, and one of the A's. So I do remember, I always thought it was a joke. People would talk about steam radio. But was there actually a radio? I feel stupid even asking it. But we will find out, I suppose, at 15 squared, or maybe one of you is a steam radio enthusiast, but I think it's just a joking phrase. But anyway, we'll find out. Clean up U.S. state briefly. 4 letters. Well, I thought of Utah, but it does say briefly. No, let's go back to the downs. We do have, oh, Mike redubbed, turning up, bearing another name. Well, another name that would fit would be Derek. Oh, and I do see from the first D in redubbed working backwards, so turning up and bearing. So the words Mike redubbed, turned around, bears the name Derek. All right. A dangerous creature, a kestrel ant is pulverized. Well, I think that must be an anagram of a kestrel ant. Let's try the anagram helper. First of all, make sure we have the right number of letters. 11. Yes, 7 plus 1 plus 3. All right. Ooh. Rattlesnake must be, which is definitely a dangerous creature. All right. Ooh, our idle head now begins with L. L-E-A. L-O-A. Oh, yes, if you idle, you loaf around. And your loaf, use your loaf, can be slang for use your head. Oh, what's the one's balances, or one's success is in the balance? I'm thinking a tightrope walker. So again, it's just a cryptic definition with no wordplay involved, but certainly that I can see. Yeah, this must be plinth. Surely. But how does it work? Solid support for roads. Statue. No, I do not see that. And what's our seminars? Ooh, is it a Latin word? A plural? Yeah, there is, I'm sure I have heard of it, colloquia. It's probably a word I haven't heard in 40 years as a seminar. And of course, it's if you use slang, you're being colloquial, but without the final L. I hope I spelled that right. All right. One or two of these appear in the New Testament. Oh, it must be Corinthians. There are two books. Is it St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians? I think. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. A mock battle in which the losers are the more decorated. Ah, I have played this game. I enjoyed it, but got a few welts for my troubles. And I think that would be paintball. All right. Educational journey to Old City under £1,000. I do remember there used to be the Grand Tour where I think the children of the aristocracy or the well-to-do would travel around Europe at the end of their education. So grand is obviously £1,000. Oh, two is simply two. And we have the ancient city of again. We've had that before not too long ago. Clean up. Oh, I thought for a moment it was Utah, but no, it must be wash. So Washington, briefly, would be to clean up. All right. This looks like a novel, and I can guess what it's going to be. A short section, an idiot misread. Well, I was thinking of Passage to India. And it must be. A might simply be a short section. O is a passage, I suppose. Like a short section of a book would be a passage from a book. And then an anagram of an idiot. All right. Discharge online assignment. Ooh, I wonder if it's going to have the prefix E for electronic. Could they be using that for online and then E and some kind of assignment, and then the whole word will mean discharge? We've seen E, I think, more for electronic or computer. I don't know if it would be online. Exams that French speakers often miss out. Ah, French speakers. So is it maybe some letters that people who speak French may not pronounce that letter? But I have no idea what that could be as exams, finals, French speakers. No, a barrier of stone. A again might simply be a, and then a word. A barrier could be a gate. An agate is a type of stone. All right, hotel patron. Yeah, so immediately I looked at a 5-letter word beginning with G and thought of a guest. Gets out. Well, the word out can be used to indicate an anagram of gets, and then uniform is the phonetic alphabet word for the letter U. We're going to put that packed inside it, and we get our guest. All right, that's all the downs. Ooh, here's another test to go with the exams. Cut back the one for me. Well, I'm thinking to test somebody might be to examine them. Yeah, if you cut something, you might axe it. We put that word back or backwards. And the one for me is mine. There we go. All right, bewildered by how badly business is going. If you're bewildered, you might be at a loss. And if your business is going badly, it is being run at a loss. I think that's one you just comes to you immediately, or you might be racking your brain for that kind of clue. I know I do. All right, after exercise, bring back fish and a sort of butter. Well, we often see exercise or physical exercise in a British school can be PE or PT. Oh, well, I think PT maybe is more in the military, but in a school it could be PE. So then I think there might be a 4-letter fish, which the only one beginning with T I could think of was tuna. And if you put that backwards, you get a sort of butter, peanut butter. I had some for my lunch today. All right, idlers said to go for the bright lights. Well, said, I think, is a homophone indicator. People who are idlers, you might call them lasers with a Z, but that sounds like lasers with an S, which are bright lights. All right, this has gone remarkably easily, so I appreciate Vulcan for that. Oh, yes, actually, I think I was right. E for online, an assignment. I'm giving you a mission, and a discharge could be an emission. All right. Ooh, this might be finals. that French speakers often miss out. Well, French maybe couldn't be represented by F. I'm not sure about that. But we also have fin, the end, but I don't see exams that French speakers. Is it a homophone? Often miss out like fine L's? Is something to do with the letter L? I do not get that at all. So it's funny for such a straightforward crossword today. There were, I think, 3 that I want to look up at 15 squared. Yeah, and I'm not even 100% sure of that one, of course. But let's go ahead and check all. Everything is still there. Hallelujah. All right, let's see what they're saying over at 15 squared. All right, the blog today by Andrew. Another Vulcan Monday for those who like a gentle start to the week. Well, I definitely do. Who wouldn't want a gentle start to the week? Anyway, he says quite a few cryptic or barely cryptic definitions. Ooh, I don't think Andrew was too pleased by that, but anyway. I think I got most of the acrosses. Yeah, sure enough to be beside oneself is very angry. Oh, he does say about biopic, not really an and lit. Oh yeah, I never really thought too much about not necessarily. Yeah, there's really not a great definition there for biopic. Anyway, let's see, jump the gun. Just says old-fashioned medium. Let's see if anyone in the comments queries it. Yeah, so that was the only across I questioned was Steam Radio. On the downs, the plinth, more or less a straight definition with a reference to the controversy over the I presume that should be statue of Cecil Rhodes in Oriel College, Oxford. Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot in that one. And then 19. The final letters of French words are often silent, as in français. Oh, but then others, final S, actually, that does seem more correct. Yes, Calais, for example, français. All right. Defeated by loaf, underwhelmed by plinth. Oh, I didn't know loaf was, or maybe I did and had forgotten loaf of bread equals head. Ooh, the in novel is part of the definition, India novel. Interesting. Yeah, just looking for someone. Oh, Rattlesnake. Ah, I loved the first album by Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. Second one had some good songs, but ruined by the production. But his solo career I've really enjoyed. Paintball. Nobody is asking about Steam. New to me, Steam Radio. There we go. Yeah, 1984. My goodness, 40 years ago. Yeah, all right. Well, I won't waste any more of your time on this. We got a quick one today. Anyway, thanks as always for watching and have a wonderful day.